Authu Billahi Minashaitan Nirajim. Bismillahir-Rahman-Nir-Rahim. Each has guardian angels before him and behind him, who watch him at God's command. God does not change the condition of a people's lot, unless they change what is in their hearts. But when God decrees punishment for a people, none can ward it off. Besides him, they have no protector. Have they not seen how many generations we destroyed before them? We established them on the earth more firmly than you, and we sent the clouds over them, pouring down abundant rain, and made the rivers flow at their feet. Yet we destroyed them for their sins, and raised up other generations after them. Does it not guide the people who inherit the land from former people that we can punish them for their sins if we will? And seal up their hearts so that they would not be able to lend an ear to words of guidance? We have told you the stories of those towns. Their messengers came to them with clear signs, but they were never going to believe in something they had already rejected. Thus God seals up the hearts of those who deny the truth. We found most of them untrue to their covenants, indeed we found most of them to be defiant. We made the people who were considered weak inheritors of the eastern parts and western parts of the land which we had blessed. Thus your Lord's good promise to the children of Israel was fulfilled, because of their patience, and we destroyed all that Pharaoh and his people had built and all that they had raised high. How many communities of evildoers we have destroyed, raising up other people after them. When they felt our punishment coming upon them, they began to flee from it. They were told, "Do not try to flee, but return to the comfort and luxuries in which you exulted and to the places where you lived, so that you may be questioned." They said, "Woe to us! We were indeed wrongdoers." They will ask you, prophet, about the hour, saying, "When it will come to pass, what have you to do with the mentioning of it? Your Lord alone knows when it will come, you are but a warner for those who fear it." On the day when they see it, they will feel as if they had tarried in this world for only one evening or one morning. Each has guardian angels before him and behind him, who watch him at God's command. God does not change the condition of a people's lot, unless they change what is in their hearts. But when God decrees punishment for a people, none can ward it off. Besides him, they have no protector. Behold, you are those who are called upon to spend for God's cause, but among you are those who are niggardly, and whoever stints does so against his own self. Indeed, God is self-sufficient, but you stand in need of him, and if you turn back, he will bring in your place another people, who will not be like you. It is ordained that no nation we have destroyed shall ever rise again, but when Gog and Magog are let loose and swarm down from every hillside and they spread out, leaping across every barrier of land and sea, when the true promise of God draws near, those who denied the truth will stare in amazement, crying, "Woe to us! We have been so heedless of this. Indeed, we were wrongdoers." So they rejected them both, and became those who were destroyed. We gave Moses the book so that they might be guided. We made the son of Mary and his mother a sign and gave them shelter on a peaceful hillside watered by a fresh spring. Messengers, eat what is wholesome and do good deeds. I am well aware of what you do. Your religion is but one religion, and I am your only Lord, therefore, fear me. Yet they divided themselves into factions, each rejoicing in what they had. So leave them in their bewilderment for a while. Do they imagine that the wealth and children we have provided have no other purpose except to help them in acquiring material benefits? No, indeed. But they do not understand. The believers, those who tremble with fear of their Lord, and believe in his messages and do not ascribe partners to him, and those who give to others what has been bestowed upon them with their hearts trembling at the thought that they must return to their Lord, it is they who vie with one another in doing good works and shall be the foremost in doing so. We charge no soul with more than it can bear. We have a record which clearly shows the truth and they will not be wronged. But their hearts are heedless of this. Moreover, there are other deeds besides this which they do. But then when we seize the affluent among them, they will cry out for help. Do not cry out for help this day, for surely you shall not be helped by us. My revelations were recited to you, but you turned your backs in arrogance. as if you were abandoning a storyteller.
A'udhu billahi minashaitan nirajim. Bismillahir Rahman nir Rahim. Juggalos and thuggalettes, we walk with angels. In front and behind, they roll deep with the fago. But God ain't gonna change the game unless we change our heart. Ain't no runnin' when the punishment starts. Ain't no protector when the curtain's pulled apart. Yo, you see how the clowns before got wiped out? Firm on the earth, rain pourin', rivers flowin', no doubt. We set 'em up real high, but they fell real low. Sins too heavy, they lost the show. We told y'all stories of them wicked towns. Messengers came through, but they laughed like clowns. God sealed their hearts, they couldn't hear a thing. Now look at 'em burnin' in the hellfire ring. We gave the weak the land east and west. Made Pharaoh crumble, his whole empire wrecked. How many times we seen evil get crushed. When they see the storm comin', they all rush. Tryna escape, but nah, face the mess. Woe to us. We was wrong, now we confess. But God ain't playin', and the clock's tickin' down. On that day, they gone, wish they hadn't clowned. Juggalos and thuggalettes, we walk with angels. In front and behind, they roll deep with the fago. But God ain't gonna change the game unless we change our heart. Ain't no runnin' when the punishment starts. Ain't no protector when the curtain's pulled apart. Y'all called to ride for God's cause, but you stingy. God don't need you, but you in need of mercy. Turn your back, he'll replace ya, quick as a snap. A new crew who ain't bout to fall into that trap. The clock's wind in down, Gog and Magog breakin' loose. Swarming down, breakin' barriers, no excuse. When the truth hits, they eyes wide, cryin' in disbelief. Woe to us. Too late to feel grief. We gave Moses the book, gave Mary a sign. A spring in the hills, pure and divine. Your religion's one, don't trip on that. But they split into factions, each wearin' a hat. Now they sittin' in confusion, lost for a while. Thinkin' their stacks and kids make life worthwhile. Nah homie, they don't get it, they lost in the chase. The real winners? The ones seekin' God's face. They do good, they tremble at the thought of that day. When they meet their Lord, every soul gotta pay. Don't cry for help, that time is done. Revelations were told, but you turned and run. Juggalos and thuggalettes, we walk with angels. In front and behind, they roll deep with the fago. But God ain't gonna change the game unless we change our heart. Ain't no runnin' when the punishment starts. Ain't no protector when the curtain's pulled apart. Whoop whoop.